Welcome back to another edition of the Soft Dump in the Corner podcast presented by North Six Sports. Well, he's done it, folks. Alexander Ovechkin is officially the NHL's all-time leader in goals scored. Quite the accomplishment. Let's dive right into it. As always, my fellow co-hosts tonight, Mr. Luke Pendlebury, how are you this evening? What's going through your mind? Talk to us a little bit about this great accomplishment.
No, it's amazing, and I'm sure you can speak on this too. It's him and Crosby were the guys for me growing up ever since. I got to say about grade 3 or grade 4 is when these guys started getting drafted in the NHL, and
Mhm.
there was a lot of talk behind them, a lot of hype, generational talent. These guys are going to be the next guys to be at the top of the mountain with the other big names, obviously in history. So. Um, I think it's amazing. I think it's so cool to see Ovi break this record because I think years and years ago we talked about this and we thought, no one's touching this, no way. So to see a record being broken like this, it's truly exciting for me. It's exciting for the fans, and it's exciting for like the generation to come. So, congrats, Alex. We're all proud of you and super excited, especially for this year's hockey. So, been cool.
Yeah, I mean, for many years, I'll be the first one to admit I didn't think he was going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely a huge accomplishment in its own right. We'll talk a little bit about numbers and why it's so significant, why it's such a huge impact on just sorry, volume is just a little low there. Why it's such a huge impact on like what's actually going on and how difficult it was to actually have that. So,
Yeah.
we'll dive into that with particulars, and numbers here. But I just wanted to kind of bring up, so like, do you think first and foremost, do you think he gets to 900 this season? Do you think he tries for it?
So he's at what 895. He needs five more, 5, 6 games roughly. It's honestly super doable. I think it's I don't think it's out of the question. He just has to have, let's call it, one or two big games, and he's right in pace for it. So I'll say yes, just for the he's coming off some of like momentum, I guess we'll call it, just breaking the record. He scored two against Chicago. Obviously, got the one against the Islanders. He's been on a bit of a roll right now. Teammates are fired up. I think that locker room is just fired up right now. So yeah, give me the yes on
Bands that make
900.
a dance. Bands that
Bands
make
make
a
a
dance.
dance.
Bands that make a
Yeah,
dance.
video I sent you.
Bands that make a dance. I love it, man. And you're so right, man. And that's just huge because like
Yeah,
chemistry alone, right? Like you got to
yeah,
think of it too. I mean, you can have all the talent in the world. You can be, the best forward group. You could be dynamic defensively. We've seen so many different styles of teams, shutting down teams, winning 1-0, 2-1, the old Devils days, or even as of recent, the New York Islanders, the way that they try to win hockey games. It's not to say that it doesn't work. It's just difficult to do in such a high pace scoring game. So I
mhm,
don't know, man. I think it's huge. Chemistry so big, and you see
yeah,
those teams that are scoring and playing, such good hockey all around. It's
yep,
really important, and there's no better time to realistically play that best hockey or to produce the best chemistry, produce the best results than playoffs, right? Obviously, it's
yeah, hundred
you're
percent.
inevitably gonna produce really solid results if you're you know producing or everybody's playing well, I guess, in a quick nutshell, right?
Yeah,
We always talk about or specifically talk about in the playoffs power play and special teams as a whole, like penalty killing, special teams. That's such a big thing on a chemistry side of things because when you're playing shorthanded and you're playing PK, you're well, anywhere you have your position, you have to be there. Everyone
yeah,
needs to work together. That chemistry has to be there. You can't
hundred
always see the
percent.
puck in certain spots. And it's funny how you brought chemistry up because you just watched the way the Caps are playing right now, and
Oh, playing out of
and
their
they're
mind,
playing phenomenal hockey.
100%.
Right. So I was just gonna go off of a few funny little questions here. So like I want to talk about futuristic stuff about that as a whole.
Yep.
But I think I kind of, we agree. We kind of wanted to go over sort of a lot of what Ovi, became and how he got there and just, what he did for so long and just really put it into perspective. So like as a whole, I think to start this off, and I'll let you sort of go off and definitely feel free to really give an opinion here, but I think people should realize and understand the significance of this and how difficult it was.
Mhm.
To put it into perspective for those of you who do not know, and I already did the math for you. Yes, that's correct. I'll say it again. I did the math for you.
Oh
You would
god.
need to average 50 goals a season for 18 years
Per
to
900.
reach 895 goals.
Yeah, it's
I'll
crazy.
say that again. You would need to average 50 goals a season for 18 seasons.
Yeah, it's
So not
crazy.
only is there the longevity aspect where you need to play, but there's also the aspect where you need to
He'll
produce
be
at a
relevant.
goal scoring level of an elite goal scorer. So when you add all that up, it's insane. And then you even too, if you really want to take it a step further, he's going to be the number one all time in hits.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature, honestly.
Put that into perspective, right? You play damn near every single game of your career. I know he missed recency bias. What he missed 16 games or something like that.
Yep.
Still put up 45 rips. Not
Mhm.
a big deal. But just as recency bias, right? But like I said, man, for him to be so healthy, to be so damn physical, to play I was gonna say both ends of the ice, but I was gonna say as a whole, like to really play in the corners and play the dirty spots that people don't like to go into, hitting people in the corner, banging bodies, puck battles, shot blocks, everything that he's been through. It is amazing that
Mhm.
his body was able to handle it, let alone to produce at such an elite level. Like I said, I know we can go on and on,
Mhm.
but just as a whole,
It's crazy.
you got to really sit back and think about the accomplishment and what he achieved.
Mhm.
And truthfully, like he's still got a full season left. He's obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but he's not retiring next year. So what type of goal might he have in mind? Does he care anymore? Duh, obviously he cares. He still celebrates every goal like it's his first. So I'd like to think about it down the road about what he could get to, but you got to think that 900's obviously on his easy radar. He's not scoring five more goals. But yeah, man, what do you think? Like, you think 900 is good for his liking, and kind of whatever next year brings is he's got to play it out. Maybe he wants to try for
Mhm.
950. What if he has another good season and scores 42 more goals next year, and then he's like, I'm fucking 60 goals away from 1,000 goals.
It's great. It is not even another question, and that's so funny because, like, yeah, if he comes out and has another good season, like, why wouldn't you just try at this point? Like, who else is gonna even sniff that number? I don't know. It's incredible. Like, if you could just say, I had 1,000 points, and we talk about year after year when you get guys that accomplish 1,000 points, and we're like, damn, like you had an unbelievable career if you can get to 4 digits. Getting to 4 digits in just goals would be nuts.
Goals alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that'd be
seriously.
sick.
And you know what? It's yeah, like we say, it's one thing to produce for a couple years as well.
Mhm.
There's tons of guys. Look in the history of the league. You look at around any series or decade or whatever. You can pinpoint guys that scored an incredible pace, that scored a lot of goals.
Mhm.
Jonathan Cheechoo is a 50 goal scorer.
Yep.
Like I bet you a lot of people that might hear that'll be like, who?
Moose Factory,
Who's
Ontario.
yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys that played very, very well, made extremely good money, but there's so very few. There's
Mhm.
very few players that have simply played the amount of games that he's played.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, yeah.
And like you said, there's not even you take that conversation and then you expand that to, well, what about over the longevity of, how many goals did you score too? Well, not many people who play even 1,000 games probably even sniff 400 goals.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? So it's just you start thinking of all of these metrics and what about this and who's he compared to with this and what would this look like or that look like, and all of the time it just seemingly blows your mind.
Mhm.
And that's coming from me. And I hate to say that because I'm Gretzky through and through. Like rest in peace to the great Gr8 One, if you will, 99 in terms of his record. But um,
He's got plenty that people won't touch. You're good.
yeah, well, he also had 76 in the WHA, which is technically still NHL, pre-NHL, when the Oilers were not in the league, if we want to get technical
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So Ovi still got about 74 to go to catch the Gr8 One. Team Gr8 One, baby! I heard the Oilers are signing Gretz to a 10-day. Confirmed. The Gretz is coming back. You think he could score a goal?
No.
If you put him on a line with Connor McDavid,
No. That guy is
power play. You send him out there. The Oilers, you give him a 10-day contract. He plays in 4 games, and he plays 8 minutes a game, and he just simply plays the 2-minute power plays. You're telling me he couldn't score a goal? Not even off the shin pad like Biz.
I don't know. I mean, anything could happen, I guess, but nah. Dude, he's in his 60s, man. He's like 65 years old.
Hey, Gordy played till he was 54.
Gordy.
Gordy.
Give him the Gordy.
Gordy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I don't know.
it's that would be fucking
wild.
hilarious. That'd be some Happy Gilmore stuff right there. Everybody, please understand that I am joking, although I wish it were funny enough to be true. Gretzky is not coming out of retirement to play in the NHL again. How about this one though? So like we talked about it 6 podcasts ago about where would he finish all time.
Yeah.
And I can't remember your specific answer, but I'm pretty sure I recall both of us saying he would more than likely have moved into both of our top 5s. Still accurate?
Yep. 100%.
So who would you have prior to? Gretzky, maybe
Lemieux,
Gordy,
probably Gordy,
maybe Crosby or Bobby, one of the two.
Fuck, that's hard.
Because you can't really have Ovechkin over Crosby right now. I'm sorry, you just simply can't. Crosby has more points and 2 more cups, and a shitload more of international victories. But let's leave the international stuff out. But arguably speaking, so we can sit there and go off of each other in terms of like, okay, well, they could be this, it could be that, run ideas. But theoretically speaking, both of us are in serious consideration for having Ovechkin within our top 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a huge accomplishment in its own right.
Yeah.
You are seriously, or he is seriously now in the discussion of like, when you are thinking of the all-time greatest players to ever lace the skates up, to ever rip the biscuit, he is the guy. It's insane to think about. Like 21 years ago, think about where we were. We were just little rascals running around waiting for the street lights to turn off so we could go home and have mom's home cooked dinner. And we're watching Ovi getting drafted. And we're like, who's this fucking Russian out there just running people through the boards and shooting the puck through goalies' gloves? Out there just can't speak a lick of English. Having so much fun and we didn't know what to expect, right? But like just talk about that. Like, where do you think he is all time? Like, what's your take like on that one?
Yeah, I guaranteed 6 for sure. Number 6 guaranteed for me. I just don't know if I can put him above. It's so hard. Like I have Bobby in there. Like the guys you named is the same guys I have. You got Crosby, Lemieux, Gretzky, Gordy. It's hard. I'm sure I can make a case to put him in the top 5, but yeah, it's tricky to put him in like the Mount Rushmore of players. But what he's done for the game is incredible, and like we just mentioned, being an all-time goal scorer. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm talking myself into put him in number 5. To be honest with you, like it's incredible. Like years ago, we didn't even You would think this was going to happen, like we mentioned. Also, I read today too, the day on Sunday was the same day back in '04 is when Washington was notified that they won the lottery.
Insane. Like,
Oh,
just the
wow.
significance of how ironic that is. I did
Yeah.
see that, and I apologize. I'm just posting the link live here, but yes,
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
absolutely agree.
That's on me.
Yeah, that's great for content. That you know what that falls in line with though? Like, that's straight in line with all of those stupid Leaf fans that are like, "Hey, man, did you know that, like, the last time that this team missed the playoffs and this guy had a guy that had 118 penalty minutes, and on a Tuesday he took his girl, the Leafs won in 67, baby. They're gonna win the cup this year." Like, fuck, I love it because it's so funny, and I love the ongoing joke, but it's just like, all right, okay. Every single year they find something that happened in 1967 that they pull out of their ass. So
That's
I always
fucking
love that one.
funny.
I think that's a pretty
That
funny one
that is
to
funny.
joke about. But how about this? Let's flip it into the end of it. We'll kind of recap. I got a little fun one we're gonna do, but let's talk playoffs. So
Mhm.
obviously right around the corner, 5, 6 games left roughly for most teams, maybe a game or two less. Who's hot, who's not going into it? Just a quick one here. So excuse me. I think obviously, as we just talked about very, very recent ago, the significance of chemistry, the significance of getting hot at the right time. As we can see where we're going with this, like, who's your team to watch out for right now? Whether they get in or don't get in. I
Mhm.
want to say, like, if you were playoffs started uh, tonight, game one tonight. Like,
Yep.
who is your team? I guess theoretically speaking, you don't want. I guess is how I'd like to word this question. Who do you not want right now? Let's say
Yeah.
great right now. Don't even playoff matchups. Nothing. Like, just team you don't want to face.
The team you don't want to face right now in this moment is the St. Louis Blues. They're on a
Great
12
answer.
game 12
Yeah.
game heater. Everyone's clicking. There must be a lot of, like, just like the Caps. Must be a lot of chemistry in that locker room. Boys are fired up right now, and at this time, I know we didn't want to mention matchups, but at this time right now, like, Vegas, if they get Vegas, like, Vegas is a great team. Don't get me wrong, top to bottom, they're very strong. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't let loose on St. Louis because I think they're going to give them a run for their money. Like,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
crazy how good they are right now.
that Holloway injury sucks for them.
Yeah. Yep.
Signi-
Robert
Significantly.
Thomas has been one of the best players in the league right now.
Yeah. No,
So good.
they've been playing really strong hockey. I think the way that they're built is really
Hmm.
good. They do rely a little bit on Binnington for him to be
Yeah.
successful, which is good. You should rely on your goaltending. I don't give a shit if you're Chicago or San Jose, right? I mean, Tampa Bay, like
Classy.
that. Like, you have to rely on your goaltender. I
Yeah.
mean, realistically, some goalies that win the cup might have a 930 save percentage, and some might have a 895 or a 900. It's got to rely on regardless of which way you put. I think my team, though, truthfully, right now,
Mhm.
I don't want to be playing the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, they're fire right now.
There's something about that, the way that
They're
they're just
working.
playing for each other, man, and just
Yep.
watching the way that Nick Suzuki's put the team on his back. If you don't know who Nick Suzuki was, you do now. I'm
Yeah,
telling you
he's
right now that
unreal.
that kid is a stud, man. I love watching him play. He
Yep.
does so many of the little things right, and you can't help but just simply say how much of a crucial impact that Marty St. Louis been on that team.
Mhm.
You and I have been saying it since day one.
Yep.
We both love the signing of Marty St. Louis as head coach. He's done nothing. Well, I shouldn't say that. Obviously, they haven't had drastically, over the way team success. But my point being, specifically for player development, for player confidence, for player improvement. You look at what he's done for Caulfield. You look at what he's done now for Suzuki. You look at the way that he brought Patrick Laine in with, not just him, but the Montreal Canadiens brought
Mhm.
Patrick Laine in with open arms after he had those, two pretty significant injuries in his career, and he was mentally, in the slumps of, like, my performance is down and I can't compete with the level that I, should be at. And he got back, into a healthy mindset and a good, strong, growth too.
Yeah.
My answer, like I said, man, long-winded. Like I really do believe Montreal would be a feisty team. And you look at who they have right now, Washington, if they happen to play
Yeah.
each other. I I'm brutally honest right now.
I don't even
I
know.
I don't like Washington's chances in the first round. There's something in my head telling me that this whole season for Washington was about Ovechkin getting the goal chase. It was
Mhm.
getting the goal chase, getting the goal chase, getting the goal chase. Don't give a shit if he got it or didn't get it. The season was Ovi getting the goal chase. There was so much mental exhaustion, physical exertion to get him all these and everybody, draining. I'm not saying, excuse me. I'm not saying it couldn't be a fairy tale ending and Ovi goes out. Like, how fucking cool would that be, man? He
He
scores
won?
895. He ends up finishing with 900 in the year. He ends up fucking winning the Stanley Cup in the season. Like,
That would be
I'm
crazy.
not being an asshole. Like, that would be phenomenal for the game, for storybook, for his legacy. Like, yeah, it would be phenomenal.
That
I
would be
just don't think
crazy.
that that is the case. I just have a feeling. I've watched a lot of hockey, and you start to realize that sometimes things just happen the way that they're supposed to. And if you
Mhm.
catch a hot team, it sucks sometimes. That's all I kind of wanted to say on that. Who's your not team? 'Cause
It's
I can go first on this one, and I'll just basically say the Oilers are gonna fucking lose in the first round if they keep this shit up.
this
That's it. I'm done. You go.
It's hard right now because the team I was looking at, and obviously it's just like it jinxed the shit out of me, but there's a lot of guys out in the lineup. I was gonna say Florida, they are struggling, but they are missing like half their lineup.
It is tough with injuries, the suspension with
Yeah,
Ekblad. I do think so. I agree. I agree.
yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Like I just like the Devils don't really do anything for me. Like I think Carolina's gonna
I
wipe them
agree.
in five,
I
four or
agree.
five. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I agree.
I'm surprised, to be honest. I'm surprised the Devils are in the spot where they are. I don't know. I just don't see it.
Well, you got to think too. I mean, I truthfully believe that your opinion's swayed a bit by the fact that Jack Hughes is not in there.
Yeah.
Right. So
Sure.
that don't get me wrong. I agree wholeheartedly. You take that kid out of that lineup, that is a massive, massive, massive loss for them.
Mhm.
Having said that, he played what 55, 60 games for them this season. The reason why they're in where they are is because they did have some good health and they
Yeah.
played very good hockey. They had a
Mhm.
very hot start. Don't forget. You remember that first month, man, like those guys were I think if I'm correct, like 4th or 5th on Stanley Cup odds. I think they shot up to like 3rd or even 2nd, I believe, at
Yeah.
one time, like in the first month and a bit. They looked like all the pieces were solved. Everyone in here was saying, "Why did we let Keefe go? Look what he's doing over there. We should have tried." Right? And then, like you said, they're not a bad hockey team, but
No.
I agree wholeheartedly. I don't
Carolina's
think
gonna
that they're
fucking
gonna
run them
last
over.
very long if if they don't, find something else. Sorry, go ahead if there's anything else on your not.
No, I just like big shout out to the Bruins for being in last. Love every moment of it. So keep it up.
Yeah, that I would definitely like to recap my well, next episode we'll recap me saying the Bruins were gonna sneak into a wild card and
You
that
sneak into a tea time at 8:30.
they're gonna yeah, they're gonna sneak into a top 10. You watch.
Oh my
They'll
god.
you watch the Bruins will win the draft, jump up their max 5 spots.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they can. Yeah, no. They can only jump 5. So
But
if
they're
they
last in the
finish,
East.
you watch the Bruins will have like a top 3 pick this year or something like
Yeah,
that. They'll
fucking
they'll win
puke.
it, jump their 5 spots, and then they'll get a sick draft pick.
There's like 3 or 4 players right now that was like they're fucking sick. Like to be good. The top 5 is good.
Prospects of the Bruins or prospects?
No prospects in the 25
Right.
draft. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
There's a
skill coming
lot
in
of
for sure.
skill.
Definitely, which we can recap. But next episode, we will be going over. At least maybe we'll touch base on our season predictions. Um, Trade deadline, quick revisit. Any players as a whole like that are standing out to you? The big ones, obviously, with Rantanen. He's obviously meshed significantly smoother with Dallas. I would argue there's a little bit more of a better playing style meshing for him in Dallas. He also too gets to play with a couple fellow Finns, which arguably he played with a nice Finn in Aho too, but Rantanen fitting in well. Anybody else that kind of stands out to you? Is there anybody in particular that has been traded and is making a bigger impact than you thought they would?
I think the big one for me is the counterpart in that trade, Martin Nikas. I think he's fitting in
Yeah.
super well with Colorado. I'm just looking at his stats.
I don't know.
He's a
I
point per
think Gretzky could score a goal if he was playing with McKinnon, though. I'm just saying.
Fucking Gretz is back up in conversation. Love it. Anyways,
Give me a 10-day, Gretz.
baby, give it to me. He's a point per game with Colorado. So I know there's players that, take time to fit in, like new environment, new team. They may have been with their former team for a long time. And, it takes time to adjust. Might not even be, hockey related. Could be outside, living in the city, moving the family. Like there's a lot of change. And Nikas he's newer to the NHL, but he's been with Carolina his whole career. And, putting up a point per game in the first 27 games, like he's fitting in well, and he's good to play with, on the PP1 with McKinnon. So Nikas is definitely probably near the top of my list for the acquisitions and trading Rantanen and at least getting something in return.
Yeah. One guy that I will say that I was a little bit wrong on. And I truthfully think now, just watching his kind of refresher, if you will. I think I was wrong just due to the idea of where he was, his current situation, the whole change of environment here. Brock Nelson. You watch the way that he's playing in
Yep.
Colorado right now. It's
Yep.
like he's got an extra jump. He feels more, and it feels to me like watching him, I actually notice him out on the ice. He's been scoring pretty crucial goals too, whether it be to tie some games or even go ahead in some games. I think he also too scored an overtime winner, I believe, on that one. So he, in my opinion, has been the guy that I thought wouldn't be, as effective, albeit it was, truthfully a really good pickup for the Avalanche. So I just wanted to give a quick little shout out to what the Avs did, truthfully, and the idea that, filling that secondary or depth center group there turned out to be a significant play for them. So kudos to the Avs. They're a team to watch out this season. I really think that they've got a bone to pick with Lord Stanley.
Yep.
All right, let's play a game.
Oh, I love games.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were gonna go off and say something else. Okay, so
No.
I wanted to do a quick one here to finish up. Quick little one tonight, folks. Obviously, just wanted to give a shout out to Ovi. So, with that being said, let's play a little bit of a game. And there's absolutely no wrong answers unless you don't say Gretzky. All right, I'm just kidding, guys. I was the last one for the show. Okay, so who do you think, in your opinion? Okay, let's go on a far-fetched side of it. I know this sounds like a long number, and it is, and this is the reason for the game. Okay, I'm stretching the number because it's fun. We're having fun, Lois. Why did you hit it in a pond, Lois? All right.
Shut up,
Who
Nick.
do you? Okay. Ready? You ready? Who do you think could reach the 700 goal mark? I ain't talking break Ovi's record, and I feel like 600 was just a little bit more achievable, in my opinion, for the years to come, based on the way that stats and overall offense is, started to take over. Okay, so who do you think could reach the 700 goal mark? Okay. Give me three players. I would like an older player, That could be a veteran of 100 games. That could be a veteran of 17. We keep it to a minimum. Don't be an asshole. Middle of the road, somewhat, so to speak, and a younger player. Who do you think can reach the 700 goal mark? Go.
Well, a healthy Matthews, I think, could get there.
Sure. Believable.
Yeah,
Believable.
like a mid-range player, so someone like what in their late 20s, early 20s, mid
You,
20s. Just
it
three
could.
players.
Hey, you know what? If they're flying and buzzing in their early 30s, your call. I don't care. Your call.
Hmm. Um. Hmm. I think maybe like Draisaitl could probably get you there.
I don't mind that number. I don't, or not number, that player, excuse me. Duh. Um, they both score a lot of goals. They both get a lot of chances with power play. I think that's
Mhm.
significant. They both play in a lot of scenarios. And I also would like to add they both play alongside superstar players. So I
Mhm.
agree wholeheartedly. They do fit the bill with a lot of what, in my opinion, you need to score that amount of goals, right? You look at what Gretzky had around him, you look at what Ovi had around him. They had a lot of very, very good hockey players around
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
So young player too. Hey, there's no wrong answers
No,
here.
I know. I'm
It could
trying to
be
think.
you could pick Celebrini, you could pick a
Yeah.
Gavin McKenna. I don't care. Like you can pick
Yeah.
anybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I actually think, and going off on a limb here, I'm gonna take Mishkov. I think that kid's
Love it.
got the ability to score. He's very skilled. It seems like since Tortsy's gone, he's got his leash is definitely extended, and
Mhm.
he's having fun out there. And I think that's a huge part of at a young career is to just have fun out there and do what you do best. So we'll see. I think he's got the ability to, but we'll see after the next couple years. See where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go on this one as well too. So the older player,
Yep.
I had two, but I was really banking on you using one of those names and you didn't. So I'm
Ooh.
gonna actually say two here as well. And I think they're
Whoa.
both pretty realistic. One is certainly, in my opinion, more realistic, and I'll explain why. That
Gretzky.
one is you. Um, the player that I think is certainly going to get there is Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
Truthfully, I really believe I know the one thing that Nate had that Ovi didn't was a slow start. Because
Yeah.
Nate was not necessarily a 30 plus, even 40 plus, close to 100-point guy for 6 seasons,
Yeah, it
close
took
to
him some
7 seasons.
time.
So
Yep.
now, again, longevity, we'll see. Nate's been fairly healthy. We'll see. Again, where we're at here. The player as well that my first original was David Pastrnak
Yeah, I
because
did
of the
think that
fact
name.
that he started out pretty quickly scoring some goals. He
Yep.
also had that 60 goal season. So if you look at averages, he can allow for a 40 goal season if he has a 60,
Mhm.
right? So and two, but the one thing that Pastrnak doesn't have is an elite playmaker, man.
I
That's what
know.
scares me about that idea. Like, it would be crazy if he just had a playmaker that could just, make plays and, work around for. Like, it would be crazy if there was just like a right-handed shot, pretty young player in the league, maybe a UFA this upcoming season that could maybe make a lot of money next season that they
Mhm.
could, maybe sign to play with Pastrnak. I don't know. Is
Yeah.
anybody on Boston wearing number 16? Did I just piss a lot of people off with that comment? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me Marner is not a perfect fit for Boston
For
as an
Pasta?
organization where he is, where Pastrnak, where Swayman, where all of their good young players are. It's a piss off to most Leaf fans. I hand up accountability. I apologize. Don't kid yourselves. Marner would never sign with Boston, but that would be cool. So moving on, this is a really cool one. This is what actually gauged the question or kind of made me think of it. Um, Person I could see reaching the 700 goal mark. You and I watched him live not that long ago,
Pierre
and
Luc Dubois. Did I get
oh shit, yeah, PLD baby. No, so when we watched the Buffalo Sabres game, you and I both looked at each other and we both
Oh, yeah.
said, holy shit, I've never seen somebody shoot the puck the way that this guy does. And that guy
Tage
was
Thompson?
Tage Thompson.
Yeah, he's sick.
If you don't know, Tage Thompson has, I believe, seven of the 10 hardest shots this season alone, I believe.
Damn.
Um, maybe it
Crazy.
was something, maybe I'm skewing the stat. It could have been like a slap shot versus a wrist shot, but I thought it was 7 of the 10 hardest recorded. He also recorded a 106-mile-an-hour slap shot at their individual skills all-star thing last season as well.
Mhm.
Okay, sure, Jordo, he shoots the puck hard. A lot of people can shoot the puck hard. Okay. The one thing that I would say, this guy is about 7 feet on skates. His stick is about 10 feet long, and it literally looks like a tree vertically when he's shooting the puck, but his blade bends like a goddamn hook. It is insane. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful to watch that guy shoot.
Beautiful.
It's true. Anyways, the one thing I would say, and it's mirror identical to what Pasternak is dealing with, is he's got nobody, man. The
Yeah.
arguably 5 realistically full seasons he's played. I think he had about 6 seasons there, but he only played half the games. The 6 seasons that he's played there, he's got only a career low of 29 goals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. So, and he's on pace this year for almost another 45, 46. If he had somebody else to play there, can you imagine Jack Eichel was still there?
Oh, yeah.
Right? If he had somebody else to play with, I mean, holy whistling, like that could be a really big game changer. So that's a guy I really like. He shoots the puck incredibly accurate.
Yep.
He shoots the puck incredibly hard. He's massive, so you can't move him when he's in front of the net. He scores a lot of those dirty goals as well as he does from shooting the puck. So we'll see. That's mine. The young guy that I'd like to go with, he kind of pissed me off because you took the guy I was going to say, and you made a whole thing in my mind. I was like, how about we stay in Russia and we go to Matvei Michkov? So you know what? I don't have another one. Matvei Michkov, he's got like 24 goals in almost 75 games, career games played this year. And if you look a lot, he's been benched in about 4 or 5.
I know.
He's been like, seeing no power play in 4 or 5. Like, you take those 10 games out, he's got almost 24 goals in like 60 games. You're like, okay, that's almost a 500 goal pay or 500 pace. Like if he plays 1,600 games in the show, that's 800 goals. 1,600 games is doable. That's a really good one, though. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
But for all of you people that know through and through, who ever listened to it, and I know you're gonna laugh at this, my guy, I think, is going to score 700 goals. Joaquin Camel from the Nashville Predators. I don't know why. I think he's just going to be a wicked player. He may not, but he's got a sick-ass release, and I just loved when I watched him in that under-16 tournament, and he scored about 5 goals in 2 games. So it was an absolute rip. So quick recap. My older guy, Nate Dogg and/or Pasternak. Middle guy, Tage Thompson. And the young guy I also have is Matvei Michkov for the chance to hit 700 goals. Your recap, Sir Pendelbury.
Leon Draisaitl. I took 2 guys that are kind of veterans, but whatever.
I'll give you they're kind of mushy middle.
Yeah. Draisaitl, Austin Matthews, and Matvei Michkov.
Yeah. I like it. I do. I think the one thing, like I said, that the very, very important thing around Matthews and Matthews and Draisaitl is the significance of having another superstar around. In the Leafs organization, 2 superstars around. So very, very crucial for sure. But you never know, man. 500 goals is hard enough to do. 600, 700 is ridiculous. 800's fucked, and 900 goals. 900 goals.
Oh,
unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like I said, I was so wrong the entire time. Um, no, I wasn't. I knew he was fucking nasty. I just didn't want to believe it. I knew he was gonna score a lot of goals, but I didn't think he was gonna score. Oh my, bands and mega dance, bands and mega dance. Fans of Mega Dance. With that, I think that's gonna call it. We're not talking hockey anymore. We're acting a fool like Ludacris back in Fast and the Furious 2. Like I said, man, just kudos to Ovi.
Yeah.
He's now the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. And with that, like I said, we were lucky enough to watch it from day one, 21 years ago when he was drafted into the league to today. So
It's
yeah,
exciting.
awesome accomplishment. Good for the NHL. Super happy about it. I wish Gretz would still sign that 10-day. But maybe next year. Anything else that you wanted to add on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be selling my Alex Ovechkin Young Guns if anyone wants to buy it. It's raw, not graded, great shape. Looking for about 2,500 bones.
There you go.
Greatest goal scorer of all time.
There you go. Show Luke the bands that make her dance. And with
Yeah.
that, everybody, this has been another edition of the Soft Dump in the Corner podcast presented to you by North Six Sports and the Great Chase. The Great
Yes,
Chase that is
sir.
no longer. Congrats to the Great
Whoopee.
One, Mr. Alexander Ovechkin. Until next time, North Six Sports, Soft Dump in the Corner. We are out of here.
We out.
Peace.
Bands that make good
Dance.
ants.
Bands make a dance. Bands make a dance. Bands make a dance.